Kirk, Rosh. We're here to tell the story of Dubtendo, haven't we? Where do we start? Take us right back to the inception, the birth of Dubtendo.
So, Dubtendo was started by Jake Carlis, who's not here today. He's at work. Big ups, Jake. He's the founder and continued, massive part of Dubtendo. And that was started, and sorry if I get it wrong, pretty sure it's 2011, so quite a few years ago now, in Mid Wales. Big up the Mid Wales massive, in a little place called Aberystwyth, which it's got a special place in my heart. And it's so Dubtendo is Welsh, which is a big thing. I think I don't think many people realise that. And it started off with Jake, who's really big into his walkabout. So he actually started something called Party Headface. Hopefully I can find some pictures of it, but he used to get dressed up in this like silver robot costume that like played music, and he'd turn up to events and like do this like mobile music robot thing. It was wild, but really difficult to do. There was a lot of things going on, and his family, his sisters and his friends started getting dressed up as Mario characters, and they're combining it with that, and they're like, you know what, this could be a real thing. And Jake's a massive gamer. He loves his retro gaming. So basically, they combined the two things, retro gaming and the walkabout, and thus Dubtendo was born. And I think the first real like birthing outing of Dubtendo was at Boomtown in 2012. But Jake developed this it was like a speaker on his back. We had like mini turntables, working turntables with Serato and a laptop. We built this custom thing. Our really good friend Elwin like helped design and engineer the whole thing, and it was wild. And we would all be just like Mario characters. I had this amazing little boombox, had 2 mini rigs in. And I'd be playing like Mario samples, Here we go. He'd be playing dubstep and Mario samples, and we'd basically walk into the campsite and then just have this like pop-up Mario rave. Just like randomly, people would be calling out their tents like, "Oh, what's going on?" And we'd be there, all these Mario characters like giving it large, all this kind of stuff, and then gather people, move from there to another campsite, gather more people, and like start this kind of like weird pop-up. I don't know, utter madness, but it was like pure silliness, like really, really fun. We'd pick up other people dressed as Mario characters, would spot us, and they'd join in as well. And it was just like this really nice kind of like community walkabout, just like silliness and fun. And I've got to say, absolute big ups to Maya from Boomtown who got us in. I think Jake just like pitched it to her. And like other people, other festivals, I had no idea. They did not get it. They were like, what is this? Why would we want this at our festival? I think to begin with, it was a way to get into festivals for free. If we're going to be brutally honest, we were like, we can do this, have a really good time, and then just go and, get into festival for free. We were young and but as we did it, we saw the value it had to us, to the festival, and to people as well, to have that interactivity, to have that just pure silliness, and just it just brought the vibes basically. And 100% like through everything that we do, be it a little walkabout to a games lounge to massive festival stages, that is like the most important thing, is that it's bringing those fun vibes. Like music, we absolutely love music. We love raving. We love the culture. We love festivals. But we love the less serious, more social, more community-based aspect of that. And it can get really serious, and it can get really like businessy almost. And we just want to make sure that we can like represent the more fun side. We don't take ourselves seriously. Like we get just up like Mario characters, and Yoshi over here, absolutely loves it. And we take the piss out of ourselves, and we do all of that. And I just think it's really, really important. And then that also leads into the artists that we work with as well. You know, the artists who come to work with us, they also appreciate that fun, vibesy side that we're trying to bring, and they get it and they understand.
That's so important, really. And there's a parallel between kind of raving culture and gaming culture, isn't there?
I mean, 100%. Some of our favourite moments at, you know, raves, events, festivals, I think it's probably from doing the games and the retro games lounges and all that kind of stuff, and seeing, you know, there's always one person who'll get on the game and they're really good at it, they love it, and they sit there, and then other people come and they play and they start chatting, and then all of a sudden, you know, they're making friends, and there is 100% a social aspect, and also given another separate opportunity for people to socialise in a different way. You know, like raving and events and all that kind of stuff is so important for me personally. I really appreciate that community aspect. I appreciate getting people together who are like-minded people. But when you like-minded people, you have quite a narrow range there sometimes. So the more open we can make it for different types of people, the better. And not everyone is going to have that ability to just go out and talk to random strangers and do whatever. Whereas this is just another avenue that we like to go down to give people that opportunity. It's another reason for them to go out. They might not want to go out, but they want to go out and do the gaming thing. They can meet different people, all this kind of stuff. We find it really, really important. And that goes all the way back to the roots of where Dubtendo started with the games lounges, you know, doing games lounges at events. We used to do games lounges at raves, like literal free parties. You know, you'd have massive rigs and stuff, and we'd be like, oh, we'll bring some computer games. People wouldn't understand it, but they'd absolutely love it. You got a tent with sofas and all that kind of stuff. You can sit down, chill out, you know, play some games. It's just a vibe, man, and we love it.
I mean, it's really important. When you've got a social group, you've usually got a couple of people who are diehards, they're going to be dancing all night. Then you've got some other people, they're going to want to sit down and chill out. You might have a couple of people who don't drink, they might be the drivers, they want somewhere else. So it's that inclusivity, really, is providing something else for the whole group, having the kind of gaming aspect, and it's much more than raving then, allows people to have so much more fun in the night and be so much more inclusive and create that kind of environment where people feel comfortable and they're not just consumers buying a ticket, they're part of something, aren't they?
Yeah, it adds a whole different element, more texture to the event. It makes it so much more inclusive for everyone. Like you said, if people want to chill out, they don't just have to go to the smoking area, let's say, or outside for a breather. They can actually play a game with a randomer, make some friends, like Kirk said, and it just makes it more family feel. And you walk out the event feeling, wow, that was actually amazing. I got to play some games with randomers. I listened to the best music, saw loads of silly stuff. And as an adult, you don't really see much silly stuff these days. So it's amazing, really, for me personally anyway.
We're really blessed. Like, we all work within the industry, you know, and we work within serious events. And that's why we do this. This is our, like, silly outlet. So we can just, like, let loose and just be whatever we want to be and just do that. And then hopefully encourage other people to do that as well.
Most, if not all people watching this, most people, 99.999% of people watching this will have experienced Dubtendo at Boomtown, which, I mean, became overly successful to the point of annoyance of the festival, because you were attracting such massive crowds. Like, when a lot of people will think of Dubtendo when they think of Boomtown. At what point did those crazy scenes start to happen? Was there a tipping point? Was there a moment where you stood back and went, wow?
So it turned from a walkabout into a mini stage, I think, in 2014. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to have basically like a base. And the idea was that we do the walkabout, gather people and then bring them back to stage and just have a little party. And at the stage, then we had the games as well. It was just like almost like a hole in the wall at one point with some TVs, and people would be there playing the TVs at the front, everyone being raving and like DJs. And it was brilliant. Also got to say big ups to Calvin, who made our first DJ booth. What a legend. He just smashed it out of the park for us and joined Dubtendo, and he was like the first person to create that kind of like gaming controller DJ booth, and we've basically run with that. And then we did that year by year by year, it just grew and grew really like organically. We didn't push it. We've never really been like massively active on socials until like, this year. And we just kind of did our thing, and we didn't really do much else. You know, we just did that at Boomtown, did a few games lounges, did a few events now and again. But we weren't really trying to build a brand or anything. So we just let it do its thing. And I think it continued and continued and just grew and grew and grew. And I think the very first year that I was like, what is happening? It was probably 2018 or 2019. I think 2019 was kind of like where it started to run away with itself. I think 2018 probably was that first year when I was like, wow, there's a lot of people here who are like loving this and they're here for this. And I think because we were open on the Thursday and that was normally like our thing, it became a bit of a tradition for people. People would come to Dubtendo first when they first arrived to the festival on the Thursday. And then we kind of opened the rest of the weekend. It was good, but Thursday was always like Ramo. And then 2019 was the last year that we were in Metropolis, and that was like shut down, right, roadblock. You could not get in to the district. It was just absolutely insane. But then, I mean, I get like my hairs stand up on my, you know, arms and stuff like when I think about it. But a lot of that, you know, has come down to like that organic growth. I do think that we were always like a little stage with a big heart. We used to say that a lot. Kind of the lineups were for sure way bigger than they should have been, and all of this kind of stuff. But that was because people wanted to play on the stage because they got that vibe. You know, we're not like there's no money. We can't pay people. We're just asking people, or they come and ask us. And it still blows my mind that like these massive artists want to come and play, want to get involved. And I think it's because they understand what we're trying to do and they get it. There's no, you know, and it gives them an opportunity. Like my favorite thing, I always ask DJs, if you want to play an alternative set, this is your opportunity. There's no pressure. We want you to have fun and enjoy this and like get something out of it. And I hope maybe people appreciate that. I'm not sure. I mean, 2019, High Contrast did a disco set. Oh man, it was absolutely, I love disco. Absolutely love disco. He did a disco to drum and bass set. That transition when he went from disco to drum and bass and just like literally I get chills. That moment when he and everyone went absolutely wild. But even the whole disco set was so like good vibes. Everyone was so happy. It was just fantastic.
Anybody who's up for it and gets it, you know, if they're up for it, they just understand that it's way more than just getting paid. It's way more than a big gig in front of lots of people. I mean, I think like kind of fast forwarding just a couple of years to 2022, someone like Boo being like a special guest headliner and stuff like that. I'm wanting to take it back, having gone from like playing to tens of thousands of people and let it roll the weekend before. He came and played for 250 in the tent when it was in Boomtown 2022, wasn't it?
Secret special guest. It's a secret no more. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm very, very good. I'm pleased to see you here. This has been amazing. We've kept this under wraps. Who would be your favourite special secret guest? If you were organising a party, who would be your favourite?
I ain't gonna lie, 100% DJ Hazard. The greatest.
Boo played in 2019 as an artist that I really support and appreciate his production. I think he's amazing from the very beginning. I've always had eyes on Boo and always thought he was going to smash it. So he played in 2019, and then I think a lot of people thought Boo was going to be the secret headliner, which was not the case, like at all. Hadn't spoken to anyone, and I think I remember Dale being like, "Why is everyone saying that Boo's playing on the stage?" or something like that, you know. And we're like, "I don't know, just because people want Boo to play." And then I don't know what you said or what happened, but all I know is, and I'm very sorry, Boomtown, but we smuggled Boo into the festival in the back of a Land Rover. I think they missed accreditation, so we literally had to send someone out in the landy, put them into like the back, and like make sure no one knew they were there, and smuggle them into the festival to play the set. It's just like craziness, absolute crazy scenes. It was a secret venue, you know, very limited capacity. I mean, anyone who's there was there.
Right, I've been asking everybody this. Sum up the magic of Boomtown in a noise. Wow!
Poison!
Amazing.
Let me introduce Rosh. So, Oh My Rosh, otherwise known as Oh My Yoshi.
Bonkers. Hold up, let me. We about to.
So this year, what we've done is we've started looking at socials and looking at, you know, all of that kind of stuff. But I realised that I'm not the person to do it, and I can't do it. As much as I'd like to, I'm not the right person. And I think a lot of this actually comes down to a conversation I had with Kelvin, big up Kelvin, who basically had a go at me. But he was like, why aren't you on TikTok? Why aren't you doing this? Why? When I'm like, I don't want to be on TikTok. I don't like this thing. I've got enough to do in my life. And he was like, you owe it to yourself. You owe it to your brand to be doing these things. And I was like, oh, yeah, whatever. I went away and I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe we should be doing something like this. And then, you know, Rosh is specialist. You know, he specialises in social media and all that kind of stuff. So Rosh came on board. I think we went out to the Alps together. Calvin posted a video of Rosh dressed as Yoshi, kind of DJing in the Alps up a snowy mountain and all that kind of stuff. And he posted on his TikTok. It went absolutely viral, and I was like, yes, this is okay. Fair enough. Maybe we should be doing that. And so Rosh came on and has been absolutely smashing it basically, and added a whole other element, I guess to Dubtendo for us.
Definitely like a missing piece in the puzzle, really, because it's all very well creating something. But as the three of us know, as brand owners of our own brands, unless you're shouting about it and getting it out to the world, you can have the most amazing thing possible. But if you're not getting it out to the world, nobody has a clue that you're doing it.
I agree. I think the legwork has already been done. The brand is already there. The message is great. The platform and what they built is amazing. They just needed that little step up, which they were missing, to showcase the world how amazing Dubtendo is. And that's where I wanted to come in. And I resonate with the brand a lot because for me, I like silly stuff. I like fun stuff. Music, I love. DJing, I love. And it all kind of came to this ball, and I loved it when Kirk presented it. I was like, yes, 100% yes. And now it's great. People love Dubtendo, which I had no doubt about it. And it's not just national, it's actually international at the moment. Worldwide, people are loving it, which is amazing for me to see because they've worked so hard on building it. And people resonate with it. They love the energy that Dubtendo brings, which is amazing.
Oh,
Let me just say, Rosh did not want to do any of this. I swear every week I'm just like, hey Rosh, I've got this funny, can I just get you dressed up as Yoshi and put you in a hot air balloon? And and everybody's like, no, I don't want to do it. But fair plays to Rosh for dealing with me and listening eventually.
Okay, I'll tell you my story. Normally how it works is I don't get much information. Then Kurt goes, this would be really great. Can you do this tomorrow? And that's how it works. And I'm up for these kind of things, but normally I like a bit more information. And it's all very cowboy, which I love. We're just working it out as we go. We have one mission in mind, which is go there, play the set, or do the activation in some fun way as Dubtendo. And then, I don't know. I think the magic is in that we don't expect to create this viral moment or viral video. Example, like the skiing one. I'm freezing. My hands are freezing. The decks are freezing. They're literally frozen with snow. There's a blizzard. I think that was what everyone loved about it. They're like, why is this guy in a morph suit of Yoshi DJing in like a frozen deck? And that was the first viral moment. The second one was Bog. Didn't expect anything of it except it's in a toilet. And to be honest, it was not planned at all. The set was not planned. It was kind of, let's just go for it here. We had the opening track, that was all. And then we just freestyled it. For me personally, what Dubtendo believes in, fun, bouncy tunes, happy tunes, and quite obscure tunes sometimes. and the rogue ones. I love doing that. I love testing the waters a bit. And luckily, I think Kirk likes it, and people are liking it. And yeah, hopefully bring some more.
It's been an interesting few months. So, obviously we're not found out we're not back at Boomtown, which is very sad for us after 12 years. We've really kind of stepped up the game on socials, brought Rosh in, and we did a Loco Club event end of last year. For that one, I think we just wanted to, I guess, test the waters, see what we could do. I was a promoter for many, many years. And I think after you've done something for like 13, 14 years, you do start to not fall out of love with it, but it becomes a bit like, you lose that kind of passion for it. And I definitely lost the passion for it. So I just wanted to see if I still had that passion. Actually, what turned out was it was a great event, but it didn't like give me like the butterflies. That it didn't make me. I didn't feel like we achieved anything. We had an amazing event. People had good night, but it's like it felt quite throwaway. It just it's kind of like this kind of it's a good time, and that is important. But it just it didn't really tick any boxes basically. So I went back to the drawing board and I was like, do we want to be another promoter? Do we want to put on more club nights, and all that kind of stuff? And like we love supporting the scene; it's really important. But I just felt like there must be something more to this. So what we're doing this year, our first big event, I guess, is doing this event at the boxing gym on the 27th of July, and that is not-for-profit event with all the profits from the ticket sales going to the Riverside Broadplain Youth Centre, which is an amazing community resource, and it's been a community resource for 130 years. They've been going for 130 years, completely self-funded, and they basically lost all of their sources of income. In 2023, the Senko budgets got cut. They were a centre for any kids that got excluded from schools, all that kind of stuff. They went to that centre and they did amazing work with them. And then events stopped there as well, and they were just left like completely helpless. And we heard about it. We were looking for an outdoor space. We were looking at doing pop-ups. We were looking at all these different things, what we could do with it. And I was like, we could do an outdoor day party there. It's basically bring our street party that we do at Boomtown to Bristol. But we can also really help a grassroots issue and really do some good out of this as well. And I was like, ding, 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 ding. My brain was like going, bing, bing. I was like getting that dopamine hit. I was like, yes, this is what we should be doing, because it hits the vibes. It hits the doing something good. All this, I was like, yes, this is what we should be doing. We've just like run with it. Started reaching out to artists and managers and agents and saying, hey, we're going to do this show. It's all for charity. We didn't expect much. I genuinely didn't think anyone would get it. It's a very difficult time at the moment. Artists are getting paid loads of money, which is great, but it feels, a little bit business-like at the moment, and we just didn't think anyone would go with it. And like the response has been insane. Like the amount of artists who totally get it, who've dedicated their time and put their name to it, and all this kind of stuff, are playing for free. To do this for the charity is just absolutely like mind-blowing, and it's taken that jaded part of me that I developed as a promoter of 13, 14 years, and given me a whole new sense of self and achievement and all that kind of stuff. And like, it's really like, it's just been the response has been amazing, and it's gonna sell out in advance. That does not happen these days. It's a really difficult time in the event industry, and that just shows just like the support that people have, and the possibility of doing something good. I think as promoters and people who work within the industry, we have a platform, we're able to provide a platform or create a platform that can not only show people a good time, but also do something good like this for our own community as well. And this is a Bristol Youth Centre that needs help, and we're in Bristol and we can do something about it, so that's what we're doing.
For me, it gives so much dopamine, so much happiness, that from this event, we're going to give everything back. Everyone's going to have a good time. And they're going to walk away with a core memory, and everyone wins out of it. The artists get a great show, which is what most artists want. Customers get a great time. We give to the charity. I don't know. Everything about this event hits me in the right direction, to be honest.
I really genuinely hope that this event inspires other promoters, other brands, other businesses to hopefully do something similar and use their platform, use what you do within the industry, and try and do some kind of good for that as well. You know, you can't. At the end of the day, I don't think you can't help everyone, but if everyone picked someone that they try and help, then I think the world would be a better place, basically.
This is a long-standing tradition which can basically be dated back to like the free party movement and stuff like that. This is people all chipping in and helping out, whether you're a rave or whether you're a DJ, whether you're even an agent, and you're able to overlook the fees and stuff like that and go, yeah, I want my artist involved in that because that's an important thing. That's more important than money. There's more important things than money, really, isn't there?
Yeah, totally. If it's all money, then that's all it is. Do you know what I mean? This is music and events and raving and all of that stuff. It is a cultural thing, right? And like you said, very rightly so, you know, you look at the free party movement, look at rave culture, look at the regional festivals, all of this stuff, you know, if you really look at it, it was based on movements. It was based on causes that needed to be solved. It was based on grassroots issues and people gathering together to talk about it, to share their views. And I mean, that is why free parties got shut down by the Tories. They were like, literally, oh, we don't want 200,000 people getting together who all share the same viewpoint. That's dangerous, right? That's dangerous. And that's why it all got shut down. It wasn't because they were having a good time. They were worried that people were going to be like, hang on a minute, we can mobilize. Do you know what I mean? And that is the roots of everything that we do at the end of the day. So, yeah, I'm so happy that we're able to kind of reach back to those roots. And, you know, free parties and raves are one thing, but obviously at the end of the day, we're selling tickets. You know, it is a commercial enterprise, but we're still getting back to the roots. We're taking that profit and giving it back to the charity, you know, and doing that. So I just feel like we can still do that, you know, and then we can still have a cultural significance and a cultural importance and do something good for the community.
Definitely. I absolutely love that. I think that's a nice place to kind of wrap up as where we are. But I want to backtrack a little bit because there's been some fundamental changes to the Dubtendo platform. Tell the world about the van and about, you know, when they see, like, obviously you road tested it at Bolter. That's the first time, and now it's going to come back. It will be part of the charity event on the 27th of July. But tell people all about the new kind of setup, that what people will see Dubtendo on, if you know what I mean.
Okay, so yeah, we built a new stage, and we're getting back to our roots of having a giant games controller as like the DJ booth or backdrop. It is designed to fit on the back of a van, which is crazy for something such a large structure. But we really wanted to be able to deliver, like, we didn't want to have a watered down version of what Dubtendo is. We want people to be like, this is Dubtendo. This is what they see in other places. We want to have that. So at Bolter, it wasn't on the van. You know, it can go on the van. It can't go. You know, it doesn't have to go on the van. But whenever we do a stage as Dubtendo, that is what you're going to see, basically. Eventually, when, you know, the van is there, so we can do more kind of like, I guess, like, it's not a mobile thing, but more pop-up things in different places. But we want people to be like, holy crap, that's a giant, you know, DS with people playing it with like LED screen, and like the production level's really high, and you got people dressed as characters, you know, bringing the vibe and all that kind of stuff. We want to always deliver that for Dubtendo, like the Dubtendo Street Party package, basically. So yeah, really, really excited to get that out there. You will have the stage obviously at the 27th. We've got Made Festival in Birmingham, which is going to be really exciting. In Digbeth, we're doing a pop-up at Secret Garden Party. Absolutely love the Secret Garden Party guys. Big ups to them, like doing God's work there. Really like pushing the independent festival. Like we did it at Bolter as well. I love the Bolter guys. I've worked with them for many, many years. Same thing, hardcore independent festival. Want to try and support them as much as we can. And then moving forward, yeah, it'd be lovely to get that stage out and just bring the raw elements of Dubtendo to as many things as we can, really. And yeah, just want to represent ourselves.
Representing. So there's only one more question left to ask. Who is the end boss? Who are you fighting here?
Well, I probably won't get told till the on the day. I don't know, really. For me, the end boss is a non-stop circle, really. If we can get this van to as many places, just kind of like, for me, pop up, have the van there, everyone has a good time, play some games, play some music, get some DJs on, people dancing, great time. And if we can do that internationally, get people on board with what we're doing, amazing for me.
Brilliant. High score. How about you?
The end boss. Who are we fighting against? I think our ultimate boss is just boredom, boring events. We just want to like not have boring events. We want to have really fun, good times. And then past that, what we want to hope to do for the future. I would love to really solidify this combination of gaming and raving. I think there's huge crossover there. I think I'd love to look more into gaming events. Obviously I'm a massive gamer, and I just feel like we can bring these two communities together. I laugh about it all the time, but when you meet artists who they're these put on these pedestals as these massive celebrities and stuff, and you actually talk to them, they're massive geeks. They're just they sit in front of a computer for 14 hours of the day through the night, tapping away at their computer making music. And a lot of them are gamers, and a lot of them are and to be masters of their craft, they have to be geeks and nerds and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like that is something that people need to appreciate more, and that we can merge these worlds together, and that would be my dream, I think. And then I think a lot of people who are hardcore gamers will go to gaming events, they wouldn't necessarily go out raving or whatever it is, and then I feel like the other way around works as well. So as someone who straddles that line, that would be my ultimate goal, is to break down that fence. I guess that is the final boss then. The fence is the boss. We want to kick that fence down and just merge these communities together and let everyone enjoy the best of everything.
Totally, I think that's beautiful, and there are already loads and loads of tunnels underneath that fence, because so many people, especially anybody now certainly people under 30, but even people under 40, would have come through their first interactions, their first exposure to electronic music comes through games. So many people have come through and have found this music and have become producers. They bypass the DJing and the raving thing. They become producers because they've heard tunes in games and they've been exposed to it. So that fence is only superficial anyway. These two worlds are literally joining, and all it's going to take is just a little puff of wind, a Dubtendo waft to push down the fence, and that emboss is gone. Is there anything else the world needs to know about Dubtendo right now in July 2024?
I think ultimately, we're not looking for world domination. We just want to do our thing. I think that, and it has been amazing that people appreciate that. I think that's ultimately, it still blows my mind that people even do, and I'm eternally grateful. I think at the moment, because we've got a couple of weeks before the July 27th event, all our focus is on that. We want to deliver the best event that we can. So at the moment, I think I'm just so eternally grateful to everyone who's decided to contribute to that, and a lot of that comes through not only willingness to support the charity, but also belief in us. And that is that's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure there, but also a lot of appreciation. And then same with the people buying tickets as well, because the people aren't just buying the tickets to have a good time. And but I hope that people understand that the majority of their tickets are going to the charity at the end of the day as well. So at the moment, I'm so hyper focused on that event and so full of gratitude basically for everything that's happening. And
I think the world should adopt the Dubtendo energy and what we believe in being silly, meeting up with mates and having a good time.
That's really all you need, being silly, meeting up with mates and having a good time. And for a good cause as well. Yeah, amazing. Dubtendo, thank you very much. Boo. Right, I'm really worried that it hasn't been recording the sound.
Here we go.